Have concerns over Dak's shoulder been put to rest?
Of course not, Sel. And you know what's so funny, big dog, is people hear Cowboys put out, well, you know, the MRI confirmed that he's healing. I told you, Acho, he's healthy. People saw Dak Prescott throw a 10-yard out route pregame with no pads on to Ezekiel Elliott when they were over there in Cardinal Stadium. I told y'all he's fine. The injury concerns will not be put to rest until he puts the injury to the test.
Oh, I like that.
Simple.
And it rhymes.
And it rhymes. It just came up with it. The injury concerns, big dog, they're not putting to rest until Dak puts them joints to the test. Here's why I say that. Anthony Davis, we thought that he was healthy until he went out there and tested the groin.
Did we really?
6 minutes later, some did. James Harden, he thought he was healthy, tested that hamstring block. Everybody thinks they good until they put the injury to the test. So I am not putting my concerns to rest until Dak Prescott, you go out there and you put your injury to the test. You have yet to throw throughout the entirety of a practice. You have yet to play in a football game since last October, if I am not mistaken. So how am I just going to sit here and assume that everything is good until you test it? That would be ignorant of me. Cowboys fans, please do not make that mistake. It's not to say that he's not healthy. It's just to say that we don't know if he is healthy. Take it from the Cowboys. What they said was this: as expected, Dak Prescott received an MRI on Sunday, and the results were favorable, showing what the team had hoped. Their franchise quarterback is healing.
Healing.
Anybody knows anything about the English language knows that healing is not past tense.
No.
Healing is present tense. So he's not healed. He is healing. In order for something to be healing, it must still be injured. So, no, I can't put it to rest when the team literally just told me, just told you, just told y'all that Dak Prescott is healing. He is not healed. He is still in the process of becoming healed. Can't put it to rest just yet.
Okay. All right, that's fine. Good English conversation, too, as well. I learned past tense, present tense, future tense, all those things. There's a question at the bottom that says, concerns over Dak's shoulder have been put to rest. I don't know why I'm up here, because I never had any concerns. We need to ask those who were concerned. And we just asked you, and we didn't get many answers from you. It's okay, Acho. I love you still today. I have two responses to those who were concerned. One is, I told you so, but that's not going to get it right here. That's not going to get the bills paid. Let me tell you the other response I have is, how did Dak get hurt? Why do I want to go there? Is because this is why they had to get multiple MRIs. And once you know why he got hurt and how he got hurt, then you'll understand why they got multiple MRIs, and then you will understand how easy it is for them to just go get these MRIs. Let's start off with the how. The how is this: he doesn't know. The how is the Cowboys don't know. The how is we don't know. Dak Prescott was out there saying, my ankle's fine, I'm healed up from my leg injury, and all of a sudden, I don't know, what's up? You know what they did? They went and got an MRI. Now, Dak, being Dak, is like, I'm fine, I could play through it, I could plow through it. It's not that severe. And they said, okay, you're right. You're Dak Prescott, you know your body better than anyone else, go out there. And then someone tapped someone up in that organization's shoulder and said, hey. He says something's wrong. Let's not take that for granted. Let's not just let that snowball. Let's go to the Texas Rangers. Let's talk to them and discuss this issue. They said, shut him down. If something's wrong, trust me, it's not going to get right unless you shut him down. All of a sudden, they reverse course. When they reverse course, they realize, okay, for us to truly understand this situation, because we don't even know how we got here. Dak doesn't know how we got here. We have to diagnose this in the moment. So diagnostics all the time, multiple MRIs. Oh, it is healing. Day one MRI, present day MRI, we see it has improved. Is it final? Is it finished? Who knows? But the point is...
What's the point?
I told you they were going to do multiple MRIs to make sure that they were doing the right things, not just trusting in the player who will say anything just to get on the field.
Well, here's the thing. There was actually no point in doing the second MRI because the second MRI only confirmed what common sense always confirms, that if you do what you need to do after studying the first MRI, you will heal.
But how
That's
would
why
you know
people
that?
don't get second MRIs. Because it don't make no sense.
But how do you know that? Have you ever had an injury that lingered on and you wonder why? You've been doing
how I
rehab.
know.
Yes or no? Yes.
You get healthier, though. Like, you heal. Again, it's like this. So we talked about this. You brought up the car example with diagnostics. If I see that my tire pressure is low, The resolve is put air in the tire. I don't need to go back and check my tire pressure because I know that common sense tells me tire pressure low, air in the tire pressure no longer as low. It may be filling up, but it's no longer as low. Common sense, Dak. Common sense, trainers. Well, the trainers is common sense. Dak Prescott was hurt. Based off the injury, you do something to recover. You do something to recover, you will be healing. So the second MRI was
a lot of assumptions. You just said don't make assumptions. You made a lot of assumptions.
Well, that's what you do. That's what you do in health. But I don't know that it's an assumption because it's an educated guess. It's kinesiology, right? It's kind of like if you strain a muscle, you know that you have to get the blood flow into the muscle in order for the blood flow to allow the muscle fibers to continue to attach over and heal. You could make an assumption that, well, if you strain a muscle and you do these things, you'll get healthy. But it's just what we know about the body. It's what we know about anatomy.
All bodies are different.
That is very true.
All patterns are different.
That is very true.
What is wrong with just getting a clear assessment in the present moment as you're healing? This is something he's taking advantage of that we didn't, regretfully. And now we're going to look at him like something's wrong with him. No, something was wrong with us. You know, my second point was just not only how did he get here. No one can answer that.
We can answer that.
You can't.
We've said it before.
No,
on the show.
No,
I've said it before.
What?
Volume plus intensity too quickly.
Yeah.
And we know
you
he
can
had
say it's
too
a wear
much
and tear
volume.
injury.
That's what it was.
Okay, but guess what? It's okay to say it's a wear and tear injury. Now I want to know specifically where it's worn and torn. Now that's what we do in the MRI. Now, how easy is it to get an MRI? I don't think you're doing the public a service by telling them that it's a difficult task, that this is a heavy lift, that this is a daunting ask. I think you're trying to mislead the public.
How so?
Let me tell you why. Because I've had multiple lives. Damn it, I was a former athlete like you, and now I am a commoner. I am a layman. I am one of the people, and I've had to get an MRI in the real world. Let me tell you, it's a different animal in the real world. Have you had to get an MRI in the real world?
Yes, but you don't use your connections.
Hold on. I do use my connections. And even with my connections, the point is it's still slower. And I shouldn't have to use my connections because in the NFL, you ain't got to do jack. In the NFL, they will give you an MRI before they give you lunch. They will say, hey, what? Zoom. You know why? Because the team doctor either works at the local hospital or has his own practice.
Of course.
And when you see these players who get hurt on a Sunday afternoon and then they're in surgery Sunday night before the plane even takes off, going back to their home city. You know what's interesting about that? You know who's doing that surgery? A doctor who was just barbecuing and chilling at home with the family. But he left his home, his digs, to do that surgery like that. Now, in the real world, mess something up and then go ask, can I get an MRI and a surgery in the same day? And watch how loud they laugh at you. So I want to make sure that the people who are receiving this message understand MRI to you, MRI to me now is like, whoa. To an NFL player, it happens before you get a Gatorade pass to you.
That is true.
Okay, but this is not a big deal.
The reason it was, I'm not saying it was a big deal.
Well, no
what
concern.
I'm saying it was unnecessary.
Oh, stop.
And the reason it was unnecessary is because it confirmed for us everything that was going to be confirmed anyway. Of course he was healing. And you knew he was healing because y'all took the necessary steps for him to be healing. Now, he's not fully healed, but you already knew he wasn't fully healed. So you're not wrong in saying that we all would have benefited from getting another MRI.
You think?
But I don't think you're right. Because Dak didn't benefit.
Yes, he did.
How? He didn't lose.
Because now he has the confidence to throw the 10-yard out route to Zeke in the no pads.
But he had the confidence.
Did he do it before?
He had the confidence because then he threw before he got the MRI, remember? Yeah. He threw when they were in AZ before getting back to Dallas. You're making
all my points. All of these steps are occurring because they have a clear path. And they're getting a clearer path because of the MRI. It's saying that nothing can happen wrong. When you're rehabbing a shoulder, the first thing they do after the surgery is you got to be posted. I had a shoulder surgery. Then after that, he didn't even have shoulder surgery. After that, then all of a sudden they say, okay, let's test it out. Let's do some rotator cuff ones. Drew Brees exercise, I call it. And you do this. You do it on air. And then once they see it's cool and you're handling it, how you feel? They don't trust Dak. Dak gonna say, I'm fine, because Dak is Dak.
Of course.
He's trying to press. So then you get a 2-pound weight, a 3-pound weight, a 5-pound weight. Imagine if there was another step in there and they said, I know what he can handle in maximum capacity because I can see he's healing. But we did it blindly. We were just like, yeah, I feel good. And you know how many times I lied just to get back on the field because I wanted to get my opportunity and my money? All the damn time. That's why there's an independent neurologist. Because we gonna lie and say we fine, go back out there concussed and don't know which way is up.
But going back to your earlier point, which is if Dak does not know how he got hurt.
He doesn't.
then there's nothing he can do to stop himself from getting hurt again.
Oh, just wear and tear.
Well, if there's, because we've been in these situations before, there's nothing worse, Sal, than when you injured and you go to the doctor and they can't tell you what's wrong.
Oh,
like,
I got that story here. Let's go.
Right?
Yes,
like, you get
worst.
hurt or you're sick or whatever. If there's a dichotomy between going to the doctor's office.
Yes.
Because in part, you want them to tell you what's wrong, but now there's something wrong with you. But the worst is if they tell you nothing's wrong and you still got an issue. Because now, what is wrong with me?
Thank you.
If Dak doesn't truly know how he got hurt, then there's no real way for him to stop himself from getting hurt again in this manner. I think it was volume and intensity too quickly. He went too fast, he went too hard, and he did it too quickly, and that's why he got hurt. But I can't put it to rest until you tell me how it happened. Because if you don't tell me how it happened, it can happen again. And if you don't tell me how it happened, then you don't even really know how to fix it. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. If you don't know how the action occurred, then you don't know what the equal and opposite reaction needs to be. So instead, you just gonna rest. But rest how long?
But to your point, if you don't know how it happened, and I'm agreeing he doesn't know how it happened, I want all the intel, all the intelligence, all the tests, all these easy MRIs I could get all day, every day, just to try and paint the picture so I can get to the point of knowledge. If I don't know specifically going into it, then we're going to go and reverse engineer this, and I'm going to figure this out. That's what they're doing with a highly paid investment. They do it for the big boys like this. To your point also, I had a hip MRI done maybe a month ago. Why? I don't know how my hip got messed up. I had every other surgery around it, but not my hip. And now my hip's messed up. Let me tell you, it took me a few days to get it done. What connections? And I was like, damn, this ain't the same in NFL. If I go like this in NFL, my coach like, you need an MRI? And now in the real world, okay, you're free next Thursday. I'm like, damn, this is different. But last point, your story about, do you really want to know if something's wrong? Hell yeah, you want to know. Had a friend named Mike. I ain't going to say his last name because he didn't give me permission for this story. We were just talking yesterday at soccer practice. Mike was running a marathon. 13th mile, Mike said he kind of felt a little weird. 14th mile, he never got there because he woke up in the hospital. Wake up in the hospital after the 13th mile, test at the test, positive, good, all good. And he's like, damn, nothing was wrong. So he's back running already. He's telling me. I said, Mike, you need to go back and find out what was wrong. Why'd you end up from a 13th mile marathon to a hospital in the ambulance? Oh, well, they said nothing's wrong, so everything's fine. I said, man, if you don't get that definitive answer, it's going to be regretful and it's going to haunt you for the rest of your life. This, to me, mirrors that situation. Dak's just trying to get the answers. He didn't have the answer from the beginning, but the test ain't over. That's why I see Dak in one preseason game, ain't doing the damn thing. Next preseason game, I see him out there throwing. They've given him some clarity in terms of that road ahead.
I think that I will take your answer, and I'll take the entirety of your analysis and all your points you've made this segment, and I'm just going to add to them.
Let's go.
Because to that story, I was thinking about this story, and I'm glad that Mike is still here with us, obviously, as you are, is it would be foolish of Mike, your dog, who passed out during the 13th mile, to go back out there and us to consider that his injury concern is put to rest. It'd be foolish of us to believe that. Because we don't know what the injury was to Mike, nor do we know if he's done everything to properly recover from it. So until Mike puts his heart or whatever else, his cardiovascular function to the test, I'm not putting my concerns to rest because you got to test it. So I agree with everything you're saying. I just now want to add to it and say, until Dak puts this shoulder to the test,
I like that.
I can't say that I'm good with it because it's kind of like Mike. Run 11 miles. Cool. Run 5 miles. Cool. I need to see you get to 14. Until you get to 14, I'm not sure that you are okay. Dak, until you complete an entirety of a practice, but more so, until you play in a game, then I can't fully say you good, big dog.
I like it. I like it. Like, he's going to have those tests, and he's going to be prepared for those tests once he gets the clearance based off of these MRIs and how he feels. The problem is we can't just ask a football player how he feels. Not a single trainer in the world that's ever dealt with a good athlete trusts him. You can't trust us. Hey, Acho, how you doing? Remember when you tore your MCL, was it? And you could barely walk. Were you still out there playing? You still played. They can't trust us. They ain't trusting you, Dak. So, got to listen to them.